We got another badge. Come here. This is an official
Look, he said we got another badge.
This is the real deal.
Want some badges?
So much. Thank you. What you want to be when you grow up?
A police.
Yeah.
I love police.
They'll still be here, so.
I'm Officer Norman.
Hey,
With my uncle.
There's really two key components when you talk about philosophy and community policing. It's relationships and commitment.
Snuck up on you, Carol.
hey, everybody, love you.
We love you too, Carol.
As a teenager and early adult years, it crossed my mind that I wanted to be an officer. Never really thought that I was cut out to be an officer. People that knew me from childhood thought that the uniform and the badge would change the person that I'd always been. And that person was volunteering, being involved and loving people. And so initially, wearing the uniform and walking the streets, people thought there was a hidden agenda with me. If they saw me walking down the street, they would go inside their house, or they would turn their back, or they wouldn't wave back if I waved. So what it took for me to do was not to give up on them, not to give up on my mission, and to come back the next day, and the next week, and the next month, and the next year. When people know you're not going to go anywhere, and this officer is not knocking on my front door to take someone to jail, he's knocking on my front door to ask me how my day's going, how are my kids, how's work. People will accept you as not just an officer, but really as a member of the community, that you become part of that family. Probably around 2013, 2014, I would host interactions with young people in the community, or really people of all ages, people of all colors, just to kind of see what kind of reaction I would receive from people on social media.
It's my movie.
Nice. Shrek 2.
Oh, you got a movie too? Yeah, this is my movie. Yes, I got a movie. I got a movie too. I know you got.
What's up? Good morning.
2016, the rapper The Game in Los Angeles started a GoFund for me. And this is a rapper who wasn't really a fan of police officers, but his son Harlem wanted to know about positive policing, and somehow they searched and located my work in the Arkansas community and started a GoFund, raised $72,000 for me to continue my work outside of being a police officer. Mission Give Foundation is something that I wanted to start to begin a legacy, one not of a police officer. When my time on earth is done, I don't want people just to remember me as a man that wore a uniform and made a difference. I want to prove to people that you don't have to be a police officer to make a difference. And it's forming relationships with people that I think some of society would forget about or turn their backs on. So people that have disabilities, people that can't walk, they can't talk, they can't hear. Once you become friends with them and you make a promise that you'll be in their life, you have to remain in their life and be a promise kept, so to speak. And that's huge when it comes to community policing. People to see your face every day, you be visible. But not only in uniform, but wearing what I have on today, right? And you go right back out there on your day off, or maybe when your shift is over, because the community ultimately becomes a part of your family, and you spend time with them as much as you can. I just encourage people to go out and make a difference and volunteer. And don't sit back and wait. And now I travel across the world speaking about my work as a public servant. It's a huge honor. I'll share my story first of all. I'll share my story of a young boy in North Little Rock, Arkansas, that at a young age wanted to give. And I share that anybody can make a difference.
Bereavement Care Network Incorporated, we're an organization that caters to family of homicide in the city of New Haven. 3 days after the homicide actually occurs, my assistant will reach out to the families. I will contact the mother or whoever is, over the finances for the actual funeral, and we'll meet with them face to face. So I will actually go into the home of the families, meet with them, see where we can help them, either monetary, flowers, gift cards, wherever they're in need in at that time, we will help them. One of my close friends passed away in 2011. His mom asked me to help her, with the funeral, as far as going to the funeral home, to the cemetery. At that time, that was not my cup of tea. After I did see, his mom do all of that, I said it's a greater need in the city of New Haven. and I founded the Bereavement Care Network because of his death.
I feel like through relationships, that's also a way to maybe prevent crimes, because more and more people will know through relationships that you care for them.
The mission is to let the city know that these families are hurting. When the families, they're usually located in the front of the march and rally. When they look behind them, they see cars, they see flags, they see signs, just knowing that they have support. They're not in this alone. A lot of my families tend to stray away from policing because of their fear of, you didn't solve my son's case. I'm bringing Officer Norman to make them aware that, number one, it will happen. You will have community policing. You will have these police that will, be there to support you. And every police officer is not a bad officer.
So it's going to take police officers getting out of their police car, visiting the local Boys and Girls Club, visiting local nursing homes, visiting local barbershops. But it also takes community members to maybe approach an officer and speak to an officer and engage in a conversation to get to know that officer as well.
When you have a homicide, when it occurs, you deal with so many officers, and Officer Norman, he has that following where, he's actually trusted in the community.
It takes all of us, right? So Officer Norman can't change the world, but I can at least do my part. So we should all come together. It takes a village.
N-G.
Oh, that's it. Very good. Give me 5.
He saved my daughter and my niece's lives.
And then if you ever need me, all you got to do is ask for me, right?
911.
There you go. And that's the perfect number to have, too, isn't it?
In the town of South Hill,
Oh, yeah.
there's a police officer
You like Mickey Mouse? Guess who mine is? Moana.
who's making a name for himself.
What can I say except you're welcome? Like that. Ah!
Though it's not through his singing.
He just gets a swarm of kids.
And we got to pick pumpkins.
You got to pick pumpkins.
It's through his interaction with children in the community.
It's just amazing the bond that he has with the children, especially around here.
On Valentine's Day, Aisha Roper Boswell caught Corporal Fleming on camera playing.
It was a set of boys that were coloring, and there was a set of girls that were playing with some dolls and their accessories.
After spending a few minutes with each group, Fleming leaves. Aisha uploads a short video online that goes viral, but it's the playing that's paying off.
My daughter, my niece, and some of the other children here were afraid of cops.
But after this,
It's very important to see the connection he has, especially with these group of kids that I see every day. They need someone who they can feel is a superhero, and we locally call him the South Hill Batman.
Start. That's my Batmobile.
like the Caped Crusader,
My job is here to protect and serve.
Officer Fleming believes
For me to be a catalyst to young people, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, I feel like I can be a positive change.
whether that's catching the bad guys or doing a cartwheel.
Remember, I'm always here, not just for the bad stuff, but for the good stuff, right?
It took less than 1 minute for me to see the impact Corporal Fleming has had at the apartment complex when I watched him being swarmed by children once he got out of his car. As for his unique way of talking with kids, he's the proud father of 4, and he and his wife have also fostered 2 children as well. Wayne Koval, CBS 6 News.
For police officer Mike Shaw, the call came in and it was simple.
So let's see who we can find.
The Bethlehem Police Department officer was born to do this job. A Stroudsburg native, he got his start there.
And then I got hired in Bethlehem in 2013. And I've been here ever since.
Here is where he likes to be, in his community and at the skate park, where he used to spend a lot of time.
I was a skateboarder long before I became a police officer.
And this
Come over to this gate real quick.
is where that call comes in.
I got something for you. For doing the tray flip.
Officer Shaw realized recently he had a chance to serve even more.
What's your name? Mike. Nice to meet you, bro.
As a skateboarding kid, he remembers officers in Stroudsburg treated him with respect. Now, he's paying it forward.
Does that work? Yeah, man. Awesome.
He's handing out boards, wheels, and more to neighborhood kids, who in turn know him and look forward to his visits.
It's not that negative thought every time I show up to the skate park.
He started using social media, like his Instagram account, Ink Monster, to spread the word. He posts workout tips, hilarious cop versus donut videos, and images of him and others handing out skateboards.
People would send me messages like, man, this is awesome. I've never seen a police officer interact with people like this.
His efforts are catching on.
I think it's awesome that he's here.
Andy Poe, the owner of Home Base Skate Shop, took notice and started helping with donations.
The idea is helping them push with their skateboarding, but then push ahead as individuals too.
It's a simple mission.
In a profession that seems to be surrounded by a lot of negativity, something like this that I'm trying to do is absolutely the best thing about my profession.
You better get talked to. You better get sung at.
Oh, come on. What you got? No, come on.
Get your ass together.
Come on.
Now you ever seen Cleveland? Don't have a fever. Do you ever see Cleveland? He ain't a heathen. I like my yard clean. I like my woman good. Good eating. Nice police. Officer.
Norman.
Officer Norman.
There you go.
You the best thing that happened to me. Keep me out of trouble, you see. Officer Norman. Officer Norman. Can you hear me singing this thing?
Y'all can't make that up. Only in North Little Rock, Arkansas right there.
How are you? Can you believe someone's calling to complain about kids playing basketball in the street? You believe it? Yeah. I don't know who called, but obviously I ain't got no problem with it. Hey, that's a nice hoop. Oh yeah? I ain't real good at that. Is that like NBA height? Alright guys, I'm gonna go. Just do me a favor. Obviously I have no problem with you playing basketball on the street. Just if you can. Sorry, just try not to be too loud.
I told you I was gonna bring some backup, right? Yep. Huh? You guys ready?
Yeah.
You bring your good game?
Yeah.
You see, look at these big boys I brought. You sure you can take them? So you're pretty sure you can take these guys, right? Well, I brought some other backup for y'all. I brought y'all some backup.
What's up, baby? You bought the ball?
Holy God, cute!
Get out of here. Steph Curry. Steph Curry.
That's 3-point range, that's trouble.
Yeah, that's that playoff defense right there. Oh, double team. Shoot it, baby. Come on.
Like most children, 12-year-old Ryan Paul became frazzled when his beloved teddy bear went missing Wednesday evening. Instead of asking his parents for help, Ryan, who has autism, called on necessary manpower. Or so he thought. He called 911. Ryan's dad, Robert Paul, soon realized what happened, explaining to the dispatcher that there was no emergency at their Sewaren home. But in Woodbridge Township police policy on call hang-ups, an officer must be sent to the residence to investigate.
Go, 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 go!
Officer Kari Manzini arrived just a few minutes later. It turned out the rookie cop was well equipped to handle the situation, having received specialized training from POAC Autism Services, which assists in autism recognition and response scenarios.
Thank you very much.
That's right. Whenever we can use that training to make sure that not only do we keep ourselves safe, but those folks that we're helping out safe, you know, it makes a great difference.
You know, he just couldn't have been more accommodating or understanding, and it was really great.
In the end, Ryan's teddy bear was found right on the side of his bed.
So midway through, the police see, you know, some guy walking at 4 a.m. in the morning, and they pull up to you and they start talking to you. Explain the conversation and what happened from there.
I told her, I said, I figured you would pull. I told her, I said, I kind of from my head that you would cut your lights on. Hopefully that you would cut your lights on behind me. And when he did, I was like, I stopped. I was like, hey. He said, he got for my license. He was like, where were you going? I said, it's gonna sound real crazy, but I'm actually heading to work. He's like, what time you supposed to be at your job? I said, I'm supposed to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. He's like, at 8. He said, what company you work for? I said, I work for Bellhops, a moving company. We meet at the movers' house to move them at, and we're moving from the old house to the new house. And he asked me where I came from. I said, I came from Homewood. He said, what time you left home? I said, I left home 11:40-ish, midnight. So he said, you've been walking since 12 midnight. I said, yes, sir, before you got me today in Pelham. Because I got to Hoover at 2 o'clock in the morning. I got into Pelham 3 going on 4.
Wow. That's
when Pelham police officers picked me up and took me to get something to eat.
They got you some breakfast and then they drove you to the job?
They dropped me off at Midway. They know the other officers in the area in Pelham Parkway that I was in the area, that I was walking, to look out for me, make sure I get to the destination safely. He said one of his good buddies 9 times out of 10 will pick me up, and that he did. 3 or 4 miles later, he was like, you walked the car? I said, yes, sir. He said, you going to with Wild Children? I said, yes, sir. He like, get in the car. I said, okay. So we drive. He said, you're going to be an hour early for work. I said, sounds great to me. And then we get there. He knocks on the door. He rings the doorbell for Miss Jeannie, and her and her husband answer the door. He tells them my story. And I go in. They're like, do you want something to eat? I said, the officer already fed me.
Thank you, Mr. Norman.
Thank you.
Tashay, I want to give you a sticky note, and the sticky note says, Tashay, thank you for being my friend, Officer Norman. That's for you. Can I have a hug? I love you. Thank you for being you, Officer Norman.
Give
me a hug. Thank you for being a hero to us all. I love you. She's a hero. Thank you for my morning donuts. This is a thank you from me to you for my morning donuts. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks a lot. All right. Thank you. Cool. Thank you. Hey, Tom. How you doing? Officer Norman, I mean. Here's a thank you note for you, for me, and this says, thank you for believing in me. I love you.
That's all I get?
That's it.
That's all I need, buddy. That's all I need. Love you. I love you too, buddy. That's all I do. You're a blessing in my life.
They're working together, learning what it's like to be an entrepreneur.
A lesson that almost got cut short for these Newburgh kids.
We were probably out there about an hour and a half when I noticed the cop car pull up.
When someone saw them selling lemonade by the road in Barkley Manor Monday, and instead of stopping for a cup, called the police.
His first words were, can you believe someone called the cops on kids selling lemonade?
But rather than break them up, Clayton DuBois and Thomas O'Connell instead bought a cup of lemonade and posed for pictures with the kids.
They could have shut it down, you know. A lot of cops probably wouldn't have handled it that way, but he handled it really well.
Police say the kids weren't doing anything wrong, but that their stand was creating some traffic.
You have the right to stop me. I'm not gonna even lie.
This isn't your routine traffic stop. Deputy Robert Pounds pulled over this car for going almost 20 miles over the speed limit in Collier County, Florida. It quickly became clear why. Deputy Pounds is super calm as he calls for an ambulance.
Start me an ambulance. I've got a female having a baby. Head's coming out.
But he also knows there's no time to lose, so he jumps into action.
I returned to my patrol car, grabbed some latex gloves, a fresh blanket, and ran back up to the passenger side of the stopped vehicle and started assisting Mom with delivery of the baby. And it happened very quickly.
And we mean very quickly. Pounds barely has time to get his gloves on, and Dad runs around the car to help.
Are you Dad?
Yeah.
Come over here.
Then he gets to give Dad the happy news.
Congratulations, you got a little girl. Okay. All right.
The proud papa even posed for a photo with the hero deputy. Mom and baby were taken to the hospital and are doing fine.
Adam 23, copy, you clear with the report as well.
How you doing? Maya, come here. Why are you in your feelings? I gotta go. Why are you mad at me?
Runner 20, you can disregard on back.
I'm chasing Maya.
I'm chasing Maya. Maya, come here. Okay, come here. Come here. I'm sorry. Come here. Let's talk. Come here. Come here. Okay, I won't leave, Maya. Maya, come here. I won't leave. Come here. Stop. Stop. Let's talk. Stop. I won't leave. Don't be mad at me.
Wait.
Why you mad at me? Why?
You gonna leave?
Because I'm what?
Because you gonna leave.
Maya, I gotta go back to work. Maya.
Channel 1 at 1249.
Maya. Come here.
Charles 33.
I can't stay all day. Don't be mad at me. Please. I'm sorry.
At 1249.
Ugh.